Давайте с вводного вопроса, как вы вообще оказались в Ульяновске, в России?
How did you end up in Ulyanovsk, Russia? My name is Roberto. I've been coming to Ulyanovsk for 13 years, traveling across Russia. I've been living in Ulyanovsk for about 13 years. I originally came here to meet the family of a girl who later became my wife. I enjoy coming here periodically, which is why I've been spending time here almost every year. Has your country, Italy, changed over these 13 years? Speaking about the situation in Italy and Europe as a whole, unfortunately things have worsened in many aspects. In terms of employment, security and education. In recent years, we faced the problem of false policies, which have become more like propaganda rather than real actions. This has seriously harmed the economy, relationships and many other areas which we see today. When I read the news about Italy, most of it's related to unemployment. What's the reason for this? It's important to understand, if you have access to cheap resources, you can produce goods and remain competitive in the market. But if the opportunity disappears, other countries like China take over the market share, leaving our economy out of the game. There are also issues with taxes. In Italy, entrepreneurs pay 60 to 70% in taxes. This doesn't help the flow of capital within the economy. On the contrary, it forces business owners to bear enormous expenses, leaving them with no resources to hire new employees.
Переходим ко второму блоку вопросов, касающихся вашей работы в IT. Для начала, как
You work in IT. How did you get into this field? What exactly do you do? I studied industrial electronics and microelectronics. When I graduated, the field of electronics in Italy was still in its early stages compared to today. I started working in this area, dealing with industrial and civil electronics. However, I had to leave this job soon, as demand was low, competition was high, and salaries were too small. In Italy, there is a serious issue with wage levels. Over the past 5 to 10 years, I started working in the corporate sector. I became a consultant for startups, including those in electronics and IT. 2 years ago, I founded my own company, which deals not only with IT, but also with prototype development. It's a challenging field that requires strong preparation starting from school, so that a person can later become a professional. What differences do you see between running a business in Russia and Italy? What's easier? What's harder? I see that Russia is now in the same position Italy was in 10, 15 years after World War II. There is enormous potential here. IT will become Russia's first springboard for development. If you can get organized properly and create structures that are applicable not only in IT but also in other fields, you can achieve significant success. You have everything: natural resources, necessary materials, competences accumulate over time.
Не секрет, что IT-индустрия после начала специальной военной операции...
After the start of the special military operation, the IT industry reacted ambiguously. Some companies left the Russian market, others restricted access for Russians, and some fired employees from Russia. Why do you think this happened? How can it be addressed? That was foolishness. This is connected to the global political situation. Many Western companies act within the framework of sanction policies aimed at isolating Russia. This is not just economic but also ideological pressure. However, I believe that Russia's IT sector is capable of overcoming this crisis. You have the resources to create your own solutions, independent of Western technologies. Of course, it will take time to adapt, but this is also an opportunity for local companies. What do your media say about the situation between Russia and Ukraine? Has their rhetoric changed over the past few years? Do people believe what's written in the press? Today, many Italians and Europeans use Telegram. It's a tool that I call an alternative reality. But at the same time, it's the real reality. Why? Because it's not influenced by official structures. In Europe, both in the past and now, information controlled by political structures. This means that people are given distorted or false data to make them believe what the authorities want. Many people already understand that it's impossible to change anything in Ukraine. Russia can't be stopped. This is a historical fact. It's enough to study history to understand this. Even during Napoleon's time, he tried to invade Russia, but he was sent back. Russia has something in its blood that Europe lost a long time ago: patriotism. And the last question: what would you say to Russians who are doubtful or unsure about the future of their country? As someone from the outside, how do you see Russia's future? What can I say? If we look back at the last 15 years, your country has undergone an incredible path of development. It has been a difficult path, but also a huge success. A significant part of this success belongs to your president. Some may like him, some may not, but the fact remains: he is one of the few world leaders who managed to preserve such a large and complex country as Russia and lead it to success. To those who doubt Russia's future, I would advise looking back at its past to understand where it stands today. In my opinion, everything is just beginning. Your country has enormous potential, and this journey is far from over.